Hello, welcome back. This is auditing. And so it's just auditing is very important. It's to help build trust in users of financial statements. We'll be using this book, Auditing and Insurance Services. Good book. You may use a different one, but this is a great one too. I recommend this one. So basically, chapter 1, introduction, trust but verify. That's kind of how I can sum this one up. In fact, Ronald Reagan said that to Gorbachev during the Cold War, which is true. Auditors should have a show me attitude, healthy skepticism, which means not to be cynical, but it also means not to be gullible. So, a lot of scandals happen when auditors just believe everything management tells them, or they feel as though they have time constraints, so they may not follow through all the way on something. And time pressure is no excuse for failing to exercise professional skepticism. Always make sure you look for evidence. And one thing you'll notice is managers will try to present their documents, their business in the best light possible. Management sometimes is a very, very positive. Oh, this is a great business. You can trust us. You don't have to look too deep. Just believe everything we say. And sometimes auditors, they may do that. But if you want to be a great auditor, and I'm sure you do, please be skeptical. And it doesn't mean not believing everything that management tells you. It just means have them prove it. It's just as simple as that. So that's key to making it. It's a key to be a great auditor. Professional skepticism. That's like the most important part of this chapter, and I can pull from. And make sure to have no preconceived conclusions on either side of the issue. An auditor just wants to make sure that the rules were followed. So as long as management was going by GAAP rules, generally accepted accounting principles, you should be fine. And if they aren't, that's what you're going to want to figure out. And so the four things a properly skeptical auditor should ask are these four. What do I need to know? So you're going to need to maybe learn the whole business inside and out. If so be, make sure you have enough time. How well do I know it? How well do I know it? So do you have prior knowledge? Ask yourself honestly, what do you need to work on? What do you need to know? It goes back to the first one. How well do I know it? If not, ask questions. Get more help. Do a little research. Get a book on it. Does it make sense? Number 3. Very critical. If it's not making sense, it's a problem. Make sure it makes sense. If it's completely confusing, it should. A good example of that is Enron's financial statements, their footnotes, when they were describing what their business does. It was very confusing. It did not make sense. Very few auditors could understand. No one could understand Enron's financial statements, the footnotes. It was jargon. It was just so complex. It was so complex how they wrote it that no one knew how they made their money. And that was the big problem. It did not make sense. And then 4, what can go wrong? So what can go wrong? Basically, if you're looking at the whole business from a whole, what could go wrong? I mean, is there a place for fraud? Is there a place that errors may occur? A good example was in one chapter, these employees were not stamping paid on claims at an insurance agency, so duplicate payments were being made. Bad thing. And so, yeah, this is basically professional skepticism, and what I'm talking about for this chapter. It's to carry on, and if you're looking to get into auditing, work on that. Don't, ask why, ask how. Be skeptical. Don't believe everything at face value. Don't believe verbal. Don't believe just because management says it's okay. Don't believe that. Look a little deeper. On page 17, there's the Hurt Skepticism scale. I just wanted to show you. And go ahead and take that. Take this test. The higher you score, the better you are at being an auditor. So that's the Hurt Skepticism scale. Hurt, H-U-R-T-T. And it's just basic questions on do you take time when you make decisions? Do you wait before making a decision to gather more evidence on it? Do you like searching for knowledge? Do you like trying to figure out why people do what they do, take their actions? Do you disagree or agree with a lot of people in your group when you tend to group up? Which is good if you disagree. It's good not to go with the herd mentality. As an auditor, you want to be independent. We'll get in the next chapter is going to be all about independence, by the way. Spoiler alert, heads up. So, yeah, skepticism, just work on that. And so, thank you, and we'll have a little bit more next time. Adios.